Rapid style, 3 or 4 lines, I'll throw in 2 pounds of carrots, half an LP from 1973. An old Joanna mangled but mighty, 11 stitches in time, in the winking of an elephant eye. The 2 old little epileptic ladybirds fly back from Aldi with their pottery plant pots, bigger than beauty and smaller than sin. Roll up, roll over, roll along, roll up your sleeves and dynamite Xmas schemes. The beginning of the wedding of mirth and crumble down heaven, served up for the locksmiths from Devon and the orphans of shock stackers' dreams from the slums of Tyne and Tees. Ladies and gentlemen, later the dancing brothers, perhaps. But first, it is time for the ducks among us to be fed. You know, I'm really fucking trying here, you know. But when I was asked to come over here on behalf of the FBI for the World Summit, I did not imagine that I would still be here tonight on Thursday, the 10th of September, 1998, year of our Lord, least of all in the clubhouse of Moseley Rugby Football Club. I did not think that I would be trying unsuccessfully to feed ducks. Now, I'm sorry, but I gotta have your cooperation here, you know. I'm looking around and I know you've all got bills to pay, but I don't want to see those kind of bills. I want to see the bills on your face where I see your mouths, you know. I know some of yous out there have got big feet. Now, I want you to lope some of that off. I want to see some web feet. I want to hear some quacking sounds. But I don't, what, you know, that's better, you know, but that's not perhaps good enough. You know, I've been stationed up in King's Heath, which is just up the road, you know, and I thought that was a strange place to be stationed, and I had to ask myself, what am I doing here in King's Heath? Perhaps that is a question you have asked yourself. Many a time. But you see, I asked myself the question, well, what is King's Heath? Now, King's Heath is essentially a failed seaside town. That is to say, it is a seaside town without the sea. Now, in English terms, that is. You know, because you have a romantic notion of failure and of the underdog. In American terms, it's just a fucking failed seaside town. Now, over the years, apart from working for the FBI, I've also worked for the CIA and MI6 and the KGB, which is, of course, the KGB is an American organization. Well, it's a Russian organization, but the people that work for the KGB are paid out of American bank accounts. So it's an American organization. So I'm walking around King's Heath, and I'm thinking, well, I've worked for the KGB, I've worked for the CIA, I've worked for MI6, I've worked for the UDA, I've worked for ITV, I've worked for the ANC, I've worked for the all these things have 3 letters, right? Now, the reason that they've all got 3 letters is that they're all the fucking same. They're all the same thing. So I'm walking along King's Heath High Street, and I'm thinking, okay, KGB, UDA, IRA, FBI, CIA, MI6, MI5, and then I see it, and it's like Paul on the road to Damascus. MFI. And underneath it, it's got home base. You bet it's the fucking home base. And I turn around and I walk up the street the other way and I see in front of me M-E-B. Powerhouse. You know, they've even changed the name to Powerhouse to try and disguise the fact. You look up the names that are on the fucking shops. Global Furnishings. What are they furnishing? World Choice. You bet it's the World Choice. You think it is just a sleeping suburb, but it is in fact the center of world intelligence. So next time you have doubts about settling your account with the MEB, think again. Think very fucking hard. Next time your wife, sir, is asking you to go to MFI in the afternoon and you're thinking, no, I don't want to do that, think again. Well, you know, I'm very pleased and delighted to know that Birmingham is the center of world intelligence. I've always known it. I've always known that there's this untapped potential here because, you know, we've always hidden our lamps under our bushels in this city. And you see, what you're going to find in the future as you're walking around town, you're going to find underneath all these bushels and bushes and shrubs, you're going to find lots of lamps, and they're going to be lighting up a brighter future for all of us here. But I've got a very special guest to tell you about a very holy site, a very holy and sacred site that is here in your own dear city, and it's in Digbeth. Now, I'm sure you know what this site might be. It is, in fact, Digbeth Coach Station. The special guest I've got with me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Bill Shankly, brought back from the dead. Mr. Bill Shankly. I don't need your applause, you see, because the applause that I need your listening applause, which is a silent applause. Now, Digbeth Coach Station, it might seem to you to be ancient and ramshackle, but it houses within it the ancient arts, two very fine ancient arts which go back thousands of years and predate all religions. Now, the first of these is the art of coach spotting. Now, you might think there's just a few men just standing there taking down letters and numbers. But you see, it's an ancient art. It predates even Zen itself, you see. And it involved concentration and relaxation and an extended awareness so that someone would know doing this practice that the 1500 bus going from Digbeth Coach Station to London Victoria will be leaving at 16:05 on a regular basis. Now the second of these ancient practices, which provides the physical and spiritual nourishment, is housed in a little van that is adjacent to the coach station itself. And that involves the eating of the jumbo cheese dog for £1.50. Now the jumbo cheese dog's not called a cheese dog because it breaks. It doesn't break because it contains cheese within it, of course, but it also contains chi. It contains energy for spiritual and physical nourishment. Now, Glenn Hoddle needn't bother with his unorthodox practices and faith healers and all that baloney. You know, and Trevor Francis could do no worse than to settle on a stable training camp for Birmingham City, and then success and prosperity might follow. And finally, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to find out what happened when Bob Dylan failed to settle his account with British Gas. Hello, Mr. Dylan. This is Andrew Lloyd here from British Gas. I've been asked to get in touch with you as part of our customer services team because you've failed to keep up with your easy payments on the easy payment scheme. You can't say that. You can't say that I'm failing to keep up because You either keep up or you don't keep up. I haven't got anything to keep. You haven't got anything to keep. You know, it's all just a gift. You don't have anything that you own. I have material possessions that I own, but I don't own anything. Well, Mr. Dillon, you know, you're very clever with some of your words and your ideas, but you haven't been so clever with the payments that you've been making on your easy payment scheme. In fact, according to our records, you haven't made a payment since March the 2nd. Well, that's not true, you know. That's not true because the post office in my area was stolen. And the mailbox was locked. Well, Mr. Dillon, you know, I mean, we have been entirely reasonable with you, but on 2 separate occasions, when we arranged to make visits to you in your home, you weren't there, you know. I mean, we have been entirely reasonable with you up to this point. You know, you can't say that, you can't say that. You know, you don't know the truth, you know. Come on, spit it out. Well, the truth is, Mr. Dillon, is that, you know, we're operating an equal opportunities, non-discriminatory policy here, and we feel very much that, what are you saying? What are you saying? You're alluding to something in my past, you know? You can't, what I'm saying, Mr. Dillon, is that you've reached the stage where the final solution must occur. You can't say that! You can't talk about a final solution, you know? You know, those are kind of words that you can't use, you know? I was raised and born as a Jew, you know? And those kind of words are very loaded, you know? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm glad that you allude to your Jewish roots, Mr. Dillon, because what I'm referring to is that as part of our operative equal opportunities, non-discriminatory policy, we feel that the Jewish community has got off somewhat lightly over the past 50 years in comparison with other ethnic minorities, and we at British Gas would like to redress that balance. And I'd just like to tell you that part of our customer services team is already in your home. The gas has been turned on full, and, well, for you, Mr. Dillon, in a few moments' time, the times perhaps are a-changing. Wait, you say that, well, there, look, go! Thanks for listening. Good night.